Okay, we're live, talk.
Shalom. We out here once again, giving you this truth, giving all praise to how about sitting outside by Shem, Kodash. Saluting all you brothers out there in the work. Keep going, we almost out of here. And I'm going to go into whatever spirit jump on me or any of you men or apostles out there. Anybody got comments?
Yep.
Just bring it on out. Anybody got something to say? Put you to bring out, start it off.
The chip.
Oh, I was looking through the book.
The chip, yeah.
You want to kind of skim through it and see something.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
Well, that's the bottom line. That's what's really popping right now.
the mark of the beast, yeah.
Yeah.
The mark of the beast, the
You know?
microchip.
And the video I did the other day, I think it was called the UPC code and the
Yeah,
mark of the
I was
beast.
watching, yeah.
And it's I mean the other video that you have posted on your page and other brothers posted up
Right.
with that guy Carl Saunders.
Right.
You know, I mean that's an old video, but how convenient is it that it just popped up in the
No, it
GMS?
was up for a while. It was up.
You know?
It was up for maybe 9 months ago. But the spirit, because I watched it before. But the spirit never allowed us to
Put it up.
put it up. You know, we just kind of saw it, and
Right.
you know, because it was out there, man.
Hey, but it's like maybe not even a week before the new year, brothers are putting it up on their page.
Yeah. We've been, but it's been a lot of stuff put up about the mark of the beast being a microchip, man.
Yeah.
And it's right around the corner. Like I said, Father Kabar, anything you find in the book,
Con.
chapter, anything you want to bring out,
Right.
you know, just bring it on out.
And then-
the
and the-
scripture, he got a scripture.
And the name of the new year, 2019, is you gotta wait.
Gotta wait. Gotta wait. You got a scripture or something?
Yeah, Revelations 13, verse 9.
Okay.
Revelations.
As a matter of fact, go start at the top.
Yeah.
Let's read that whole chapter.
Revelations 13.
Well, I'm gonna let the brother. I'm gonna let you read.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
If you got a precept, you bring out the precept. Okay.
Con. All right. Let me just go to this is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 1. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a scarlet. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Yeah. So this represents, and I've been speaking about the beast and the dragon, and the dragon is the dragon is interchangeable with the word beast in the scriptures. All right. So this beast, you read it again, please.
It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Stop right there, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Now you got a lot of guys acting like they know what the mark of the beast is, but they don't even know what the beast is. They can't even break that down. You know, you got some of these idiots out here that call themselves Israelite leaders and teachers that say the image of the beast is a picture of Caesar Borgia. How stupid is that?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Go ahead, read on.
It says,
The seven heads, and what? The 7 heads
and 10 horns.
and 10 horns, all right, represent NATO and the EU. So you look up NATO and the EU. Go ahead.
And upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his
And those
head
10 crowns represent the EU. You got the NATO, which is the military half of the beast, and then you got the EU, which is the financial half.
Right.
So I said in another video the other day, every nation that's part of the NATO and the EU are all Edomite nations. You don't have no Moabites.
Right.
You don't have no Moabite among them. You don't have Ammonites among them. You don't have Ishmaelites among them. You don't got so-called Africans among them.
Yep.
They're all. So wouldn't that be a racist organization?
Yes.
Wouldn't you say, well, that's a racist organization? The NATO is a racist organization.
White supremacy.
That's white.
That's
I
white
was just going to say
supremacy.
that. Oh, my goodness.
Every nation that's a part of it, somebody go to Google anybody, and put in the word NATO.
That's what the Lord meant by Job 9:24 when he said the earth is given into the hand of...
They're quick to call us racist.
Yeah.
Which we are.
The earth
There
is...
ain't nothing wrong with being a racist, so
Yeah.
just go ahead and be a racist.
Yeah, when the Babylonians were ruling, it was all about the Babylonians.
Oh yeah, it wasn't about Well, then you had the Persian and Medes, which
Yeah,
were
which,
different
which
nations.
yeah, which came
you
up
know?
late. Yeah,
Yep.
when the Greeks were ruling, it's all about the Greeks. The Romans, same thing. Which they're the same nation, Esau, Edom, but the point is there, you know.
And
Yeah.
then I was going through a video the other day, and I went to Revelation 12, and it speaks about the dragon, right? Dragon being an old serpent, the devil, Revelation 20. And then it says, for the accusers of our brothers, of our brethren. So who's our brother?
Yeah, you brought that out in the video.
Esau, who's Jacob's brother? So that right there proves in Revelation 12 chapter that the dragon, the beast, those are Edomites.
Yeah,
Point blank period, man.
Yeah, you brought that out in the video.
Yeah.
You made that point.
I got NATO.
I mean, we saw it before, you know?
Yeah.
So as soon as somebody, you got it?
I got NATO.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead.
That says NATO. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is a military alliance of European.
That's why I said NATO is the military half of the beast. Go ahead.
Is a military alliance of European and North American democracies.
European.
Oh, wait. European.
Yep.
Every nation that's a part of NATO is European.
Yep.
A European nation.
Yep.
It's a European alliance. But then, wait a minute. America, there's more.
Yep.
America is not in Europe. So why is America part of NATO? Because they're a bunch of Europeans that came over here.
That's right.
Yeah.
The eight, and that's the eighth, which come of the seven.
The 7, yeah.
And then you got Canada right above that, which that's an Edomite nation, right?
That's,
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why I call it a scarlet-colored beast.
Yeah, because they're all red.
Yeah.
They're all red. Edom.
Edom.
Yeah. Bad.
Right, as a military alliance of European and North American
And
democracies.
that's why it's called the beast, because of its military.
Right.
Now somebody get me Daniel 7. Give me the part where they speak about the fourth beast.
Come. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 7. After this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
Then that's the Roman Empire. That came back again as NATO and the EU, which is America and the NATO nations.
They had the Club of Rome.
Yeah, so you got clowns like Dr. James White, the Edomite, and Vocab Malone, and these other Christian Bible experts. If they say, and a lot of them do say this, they'll say that in Daniel the 7th chapter, that fourth beast that was different from all the rest, they'll say it's the Roman Empire.
Yep.
But wait a minute, anytime they make a Roman movie, where do they get the actor from? Either from Europe or American. They got to be a white boy.
Yeah.
If you're going to get a guy to play a Julius Caesar, it's going to be a white. You ain't going to have no Chinese guy play Julius Caesar, right?
Hell no.
You ain't going to have no Chinese guy or no Arab or no Jake play. You ain't going to have Denzel playing Augustus Caesar.
Right.
Nope.
Okay, that ain't going to happen. Because if you go for the role to play Julius Caesar and you a Jake, you a dark-skinned Jake,
Right.
they're going to look at you and you
Wouldn't be historically accurate.
You got to be historically accurate, man. Nobody will want to see that movie.
Yeah.
You know?
And it wasn't Julius Ching or Julius Johnson.
It wasn't Julius Johnson.
It was Julius.
Or Julius Abdullah.
Yeah.
It was Julius Caesar. Man.
But Esau could play everybody on the planet Earth.
Yeah, well, they're the wicked.
Fucking-
Yes, that's right.
fucking
That's right.
hypocrites.
That's right.
They're hypocrites.
Anyway, Julius Caesar is an Edomite, man. And they were working with Edomites, so were actually Edomites. And like for these guys, like Vocab want to say that the Edomites were done away with, there's no more white people. And when did that happen? Oh, that happened during the time of the Maccabees. They always bring out, what was that, first Maccabee 5 or second Maccabee 5?
I
It's
think
either
it's first Maccabee.
First Maccabee 5.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, go to that right quick.
Come.
Let's go to that right quick. And that's what they're using our book. First of all, Christians, since when they've been reading out the Apocrypha?
Right.
They've been watching us. Oh, I got them. I got their own book.
What was that? Was he a pastor? that read during the inauguration of Trump?
Yeah, it was yeah. He read out they call it the Book of Wisdom. And I ain't never heard them read out of the Apocrypha, man. Oh, and they read out of the Apocrypha, and I think it was John McCain's funeral, man.
Yep.
Oh,
They
yeah,
never
yeah.
read. They read a couple of Psalms and that's it. Now all of a sudden they read out of the Apocrypha.
Well, there's a question. Somebody asked, what is...
Go ahead.
Hold on. It says Revelation 18:4. What does that verse really mean?
Good. Let's go there. Let's answer it right quick.
What was that?
We always
Revelation
ready to
18 and
give
4.
an answer.
Oh, yeah.
Answer. So I'm ready.
What does that verse mean?
Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues.
Okay, now what's the place? The place is Babylon the Great.
God.
Is it talking about ancient Babylon? No. It's talking about the new Babylon, which is America.
Yep.
Babylon the Great is America. Now when it means by, and I heard a voice saying, Come up hither, that ye read again, please.
God. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come up out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues.
Read a little bit more.
God. It says, For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double.
Okay, so that's talking about America.
Yep.
Now the part where it says come up out of her that do not receive of her plagues, is talking about when the Lord comes back, when our Lord comes back with the angels, with the angels in them, they're going to beam us up. Now what they used to teach back at 1 West, because they went off with High Priest Ariah, which a man that we highly esteem as a great man. You know, the Most High worked with him, you know, very closely in the spirit, right? And these breakdowns that we got from him, but he went off a little here and there. They were saying you got to come out the system. You got to get out the system. No, it doesn't mean that. Even though you're supposed to get out the system anyway. The Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians 7 chapter, using the world but not abusing it. So are we in the system? Yes. But you got to know how to navigate through the system.
Yeah, right. Using the world, not abusing it.
So that means when the missiles come, when the angel them come, they're gonna come up over us and they're gonna beam us up. They're gonna beam up the elect. Go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, a quick precept for
ahead.
you. The book of 1 Thessalonians 4.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, Khan.
Another good one. What's another good precept? Revelation 11.
Micah.
Psalms 91.
Psalm 91. Yep.
So we're gonna read all them precepts, you know?
I got Revelation 11.
All right. 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter, around the 14th verse. I'll start there. For if we believe that Yahushua died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Yahushua will Yahweh bring with him.
And the word sleep means die.
Khan.
Put in the grave.
Khan.
Go ahead.
For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall
That's
not...
talk about us. That's talking about us. That means there's going to be elect that's going to be alive and remain.
Yeah,
That proves it right there.
yeah,
Now some of them are going to be put to death.
yeah,
Pursuant to Revelation 20 verse 4.
Khan. Yeah, because the Apostle John saw that. He saw it in that vision. 15th verse, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the heavenly Father, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. Then we...
So now let's stop right there. King Marshall, he gonna rise up. Abba gonna rise up. Ariel gonna rise up, and anybody else that had died in this truth.
Yeah.
Give me
Then,
that in what's that?
Isaiah
Revelation 14, verse
Come.
13.
God. Revelation 14 and 13. And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them.
And their works do follow them. Abba, okay, which is Elijah. And I wonder if you guys from Old One West, the different groups out there, I wonder if you guys believe or teach that Abba is actually Elijah. I haven't seen you did a video on it. Oh, well, somebody got to do a video on that. Because that's Abba being Elijah. When Abba came on the scene, that was the fulfillment of Elijah.
That's kind of heavy, because today I was reading in the book of Acts, and I was reading about Yahushua. I was going to do a lesson on it,
right,
where they spoke about him, that he went into the heavens until the time of restitution. And one of the scriptures that go back to restitution, it takes you back to Matthew 17, where it says that Elijah was going to restore all things. You know, so Lord's will, you know, if I get a chance,
then it's on you. It's on you. I might do a read on that. You know.
Yeah, right.
Hey, you know, we do a read.
Hey, you know, because you had mentioned about, you know, about reading the book of Acts. So the Spirit jumped on me. You know,
okay, yeah. Well, Acts is a good book. And Acts is, I mean, you got to get, you know, you got to say, I'm going to go through the whole book of Acts. So all of us should go through the book of Acts. It's the whole book, you know?
It's a lot of information.
A lot of information, because those are the acts of the apostles.
Yeah.
Remember them brothers?
And guess what? We in the book of Acts again.
Yeah.
And we're going through the Acts of the apostles, the elders, the bishops, the teachers. You know?
Acts take two.
That's what it is. The Acts. The Acts of the Lord. The Acts of the prophets. The men of the Lord.
Yeah, I remember, what, a year or two ago, them brothers from DC, they were going through the book of Acts.
Yep, the whole book,
Yeah, they were reading the book.
We did video on it on the couch.
Some DC brothers,
we did a whole breakdown of Acts. We did a whole breakdown on Acts, the book of Acts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Then we did a whole breakdown on the book of Revelation. And them old videos, brother.
Genesis.
Yep. And them some the tribes. We did the breakdown on the tribes.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Hey, you brothers, be patient. You know, we'll get to your questions.
Yeah.
You know?
17th verse. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet.
Hold on, what does it mean by clouds? It's talking about cumulus clouds? It's talking about ships.
Yeah, chariots.
So-called UFOs, so you can understand. All right, go ahead.
Caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. And then when you look up the word comfort in the Red Bible, it says or exhort, which is what we do.
Keep telling them.
Keep telling them.
Hey, the scriptures that we're going through right now, everybody that been in this thing from the beginning, when we went on YouTube in 07, they know all these scriptures.
Right.
But there's guys out there that don't understand, that don't know how to bring. You know a lot of scriptures, but can you bring them together?
Right. Yeah, can you put them together? Yeah.
Right. Precept
can you
upon
put them
precept.
together?
That's
precept
true,
upon precept. So this is basically like a review. You know?
Yeah, it's a precept for the clouds. The book of Psalm 104 and 3. Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind.
Now you know that's actually talking about clouds. You know that, right? That's
Okay.
actually talking about actual clouds. That means the Most High is in the heavens. But we use that as a scripture for the chariots. But it is actually talking about clouds.
Yeah, because
like when you look up into the clouds, the Most High is there.
Yeah.
When you look up into the stars, the Most High is there.
Well, he's everywhere.
Where's that? I believe that's Psalms. Is it Psalms 139? It says if I make my bed in hell, lo, he's there.
Yeah.
Psalms 139.
Yeah. Well,
Psalm 68.
his title is the Lord Power Omnipotent. Omnipotent means he's everywhere. Yeah.
He's everywhere.
And you know what you just said is true, because the precept sends you to Psalms 19 and 1 for the clouds, make of the clouds his chariot. The precept there sends you to Psalm 19 and 1. It says, the heavens declare the glory of the Heavenly Father, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
Yeah, so that the firmament is what? Where are those satellites at? They're up there.
Yeah.
So that's how a signal goes to this camera and goes to Moscow, goes to Italy, goes to Texas, goes to California, goes to China. There's motherfuckers in China watching us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Psalms 139.
Okay, go right to it.
This is Psalms 139 and 6. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there.
Now what it means by heaven is talking about amongst the stars. All right, go ahead.
If I make my bed in hell.
Now what does it mean if I make my bed in hell? It's talking about the grave.
Time.
The grave, yeah.
Go ahead.
Behold, thou art there.
Thou art there. So hold up. So the Most High is down there in hell? He's hanging out in hell? You know?
Yeah. It says, if I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me.
So if you go down into the sea, the Most High is there. Okay? So now let's go back. What was we?
No, the brother from Vegas, he put a scripture. It's a good scripture. He put Jeremiah 4:13. Behold, he shall come up as clouds, and his chariot shall be as the whirlwind. His
Now
horse.
that's talking about the actual chariots.
Yeah.
Yep.
His horses are. His horses. Hey. Oh, okay, here we go. His horses are swifter than eagles. Woe unto us, for we are spoiled.
Yeah, and that's talking about the chariots. Because sometimes it's talking about actual clouds, and sometimes it's talking about actual chariots. Now, when the Lord was beamed up in Acts, the first chapter,
Right.
there wasn't no cloud.
Right.
It was
That's
a
a chariot.
chariot inside of a cloud.
Come on.
Oh, here's
That's
a,
in Project Blue Book. They
Yeah.
actually showed you that picture of an actual cloud, but there was a chariot in it, a so-called UFO.
In the book of Ezekiel, a fire enfolding in itself.
That's
Yep.
it.
That's another one.
here's one with the clouds talking about the chariots. Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him.
Now that's talking about chariots.
Yeah. And every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. And they that pierced him, that teaches reincarnation right there. The ones that pierced the Lord back then, they're back on the earth now in their
That's it.
generation.
That's it.
And a lot of you people don't understand that.
You're like vocab.
It's that.
Every time I throw the reincarnation at vocab, he runs, man. He don't want to deal with it. Go ahead, Ak.
This is Ezekiel 1:4. And I looked, and behold.
And see, this is how you're supposed to teach. Not talking about exactly when does the Sabbath come in. You know? And these guys that left Nate, the Most High's not dealing with them guys. You know? When Satan be divided against Satan, how their kingdom shall fall.
That's right.
So Satan is dividing from Satan, Nate, and so their kingdom is falling, man.
Breaking that wall apart. Well,
If anything, these guys should have said whether they stand on the fact that we're going to call on the name of Christ, or we're going to call on the name of Yahushua, or we
Right.
don't know what his name is.
Right.
But we're not going to use Christ, all right? That's some Christian bullshit, man.
And Christ doesn't exist. That's the so-called God that doesn't exist. In reality, there is no such thing as Christ.
Another thing, the mark of the beast. What is their stand on the mark of the beast? Why would you do a debate with Sakari and them about exactly when the sun go down, and exactly when the Sabbath comes? The Lord never sat down with the disciples and went all into that, man. And then it says, what does it say in 2 Chronicles, the 16th chapter? Get that right quick.
Yeah, the brother Yahweh from Hawaii, he said, Apostle Salak, I have a question. What will the wilderness be like this time around, being only the elect will be saved?
Well, not just the elect. Hey, there's going to be the wicked Israelites down here. Give me that too.
Ezekiel 20.
Yeah.
All right, you got the First Chronicles, Act 16?
I can't give you
I got
all
it,
the
yep.
details, but it's
Right.
going to be similar to the wilderness during the time of Moses and them, man.
Yeah.
Well, if
Most
I,
High going to purge out the rest.
Yep.
The guys that ain't right, they're going to be down there and they're going to get killed. A lot of them going to get killed on this side, man.
if I may, there was a it just escaped me. If it comes back,
The
yeah.
spirit wanted to come back. Come
Con.
back.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, and been a minute since we get people gather you out countries.
If I'm not mistaken,
35th
it's around about
verse?
30-something verse.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start at 33. Let's see what it says. As I live, saith the Lord, power, surely with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries. It came back to me. Wherein you are scattered.
Right. Babylon, America, the islands, Great Britain, all over the world, man.
Con.
Wherever the elect is. Go ahead.
And he's using the internet to do it.
And he's using it. to do it.
Nah, we don't have to.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
This thing that we using, cameras on the internet, YouTube,
It's going all
Most
over the
High
world.
definitely gave us this, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't have to get a jet like some people we know
Right.
want to get a jet so they can go around the world and gather the
Well, that's
Lord's.
to justify that money.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it was that we see through a glass darkly. So there's certain things that we know of, but we don't know every full detail of it.
Yeah, we can't give you every full detail.
It says, with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out, and I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face, like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt. So will
Yeah, during the time of Moses, and I mentioned that, you know? So it's going to be similar.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So will I plead with you, saith the Lord power, and I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the bond of the covenant?
The second
The
Laws.
new covenant.
Yeah.
Because are we in the new covenant? No,
No.
not really.
Fully, no.
We're gonna be in the new covenant when the Most High changes.
Yep.
Yeah.
in the twinkling of an
Starting
eye.
with the elect.
That's it.
Yeah, starting with the elect.
It says, and I will purge out from among you the rebels.
So
And
you're gonna have people in the wilderness that are Israelites that ain't right.
Right. Yeah, they're
ahead.
still worshiping Christ.
Yep, yep.
Because let's say the wilderness is down there in South America, right?
Oh, man.
Let's say is that you got all those Israelites bowing down to
Oh, no,
Christ.
all you got to do is see that movie. I did a video. I was speaking about that video, Dancing with the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Venezuelans.
yeah.
Man, I saw that thing. Them people are wicked, man.
Look at that.
Hey, in the movie they were showing, they were so desperate that they'll go to a grave and they'll dig out the grave because back, I think prior to the 1945, when they buried people, they were burying with their jewelry on, their gold jewelry. They'd bust the shit open and pull the body out and take the jewelry, but then they would take their bones too. Like if you took the skull, it was a certain price. If you took an arm, it was a certain price. I said, what kind of bullshit is that, man?
That's wicked
And you
as
gotta
hell.
watch that video, man. That's
That's wicked as hell.
And that's second Ezra to the utmost, man.
Yeah, Jake, boy.
Well, the Lord said they have become more wicked than the wicked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you see that video, you're gonna do trust me, you're gonna do a video on it.
I believe.
You know? Trust me. Go ahead.
It says, and I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I'll bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and you shall know that I am the Lord. Yeah, because you have Israelites all over the world, you know, and it's going to take place the same way it took place in Egypt. Right. The Lord brought us out, and there was a certain time period where Jake was in the wilderness before they actually went to the promised land.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but we're not gonna be in the wilderness until 40 years.
Con.
We're gonna gather ourselves together and we're gonna go around the world and enslave everybody.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have spiritual power.
Right.
So as soon as we come and you pop shit, you're gonna get zapped.
Yeah.
And then when enough of you devils get zapped, you're gonna get the message. And then when we tell you, look, we tell you turn around and we're gonna shackle your ass up,
Right,
you're
right.
gonna get shackled up.
Yeah, I
And then we're
remember.
gonna give you devil's work assignments. And
Remember-
like King Marshall said years ago, when we get into the wilderness, see this right here on this side, that's how we're gonna have to do some work. And I looked at Marshall, I said in my mind, I said, boy, you crazy, man? We ain't gonna do no damn work.
Right.
We're gonna have spiritual power.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there's a prophecy in Ezekiel that says we shall be burning the weapons
Yeah.
7 months.
That's it.
So all those weapons that Esau got, we're gonna
That's it.
destroy all
That's
that
it.
shit.
And we should hire men of continual
Not yet.
employment.
Continual employment.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then they're gonna be with flags there.
Right,
Everybody over
right,
there with
right.
flags.
Yep.
Because anytime you have a dead body,
Right.
You got to bury it before it contaminates.
Diseases, yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yep.
And the wicked elite of Esau, they'll be the first to bear. That'll be their first
They're
job.
going to get their first real job. They're going
That's
to know
it,
what it's
yeah.
like to
Yep.
get up and work.
Oh yeah.
And they ain't going to work no shifts, all right?
Nope.
If I say you're going to work for 3 days straight, guess what? You're going to work 3 days straight.
Yeah.
And then I might say, look, I'm going to allow you to get 4 hours of sleep. And as soon as that fourth hour come, I'm gonna have one of my taskmasters take a cold bucket of water, ice cold, and throw it on your ass.
Yep.
Or I might just kick
Yeah.
you square in the
Yeah,
ass.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
gonna be the divine alarm clock. Kick you square in your ass,
Oh, yeah.
in your head. Get up, devil. It's time to work.
Yeah. Right.
Well, as it is.
Don't have my hope for Edomite because I'm gonna work. You ain't gonna get. I'm gonna work.
Come on, let's
Well,
work.
as
Let's
it is-
work it to the boom, boom, boom.
That's it. That's it.
Well, as it is written, we're going to meditate on terror.
That's right.
It is written, thine heart shall meditate on terror.
Yeah.
So we're going to meditate on how to fuck these elites up.
Hey, that's what they did to us.
That's what they did to us.
6 million ways to.
And we don't have enough hatred and anger. We don't talk about we got hate in our hearts. You ain't seen hate, man.
Right.
The Most High got hate. Because he's going to put the spirit on us to do something to you. You know?
According to the Lord's anger.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's right, baby.
I got a precept to bring out to the wicked elite going into slavery. The book of Psalm 149 and 5. It says, let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Heavenly Father be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword.
You know, we're going to Barakatah Yahweh,
Yep.
no?
Yeah, we ain't going to say
Ma,
Christ.
Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Allah Yahweh, Akkad.
That's right, that's right. We ain't going to say Christ. That's going to be non-existent.
Right.
We're going to go back to the Hebrew. The Hebrew.
Hebrew.
Psalm 149 and 5. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Heavenly Father be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen. To
Now
execute
right there, the word
Woo!
heathen right there is talking about the other nations.
the other nations.
So vocab, you right when it says the heathens are the other nations. Yeah, right there in that scripture.
To execute,
Text them.
savor every word.
Yeah.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen.
Right. Execute means to put into motion.
Right. What does that mean? Execute. And punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains
All the nations.
and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints, praise ye the Lord.
Those are the Israelites. And these devils, you trying to come up against this thing, telling us we don't know what we're talking about. First of all, that Edomite shit don't work no more, right?
It ain't working.
That shit ain't working no more. That magic's dead.
The thriller's gone, like
Yeah.
Thriller's gone.
BB
Magic's
King.
dead.
The magic
Thriller's
is dead.
gone.
Stand up now with thine enchantments.
That's
If they will save thee.
it.
Yeah.
It worked in the past, but it ain't,
It ain't
working, no more.
It
Cause
don't work no more. Give me Isaiah 47 verse 10.
There it is.
cause Esau don't live here no more.
It ain't working no more.
I'll get that.
You got it?
Yeah.
Isaiah 47.
It was that chick, Sunshine Anderson. But
yeah,
your
yeah.
life.
Oh yeah.
But how's that song go again? Yeah, I forgot how it went.
Yeah. I know I can
Yeah,
hear it in
I
my
forget,
head.
Yeah.
But your lies don't work no more.
Yeah, something like that.
This is Isaiah chapter.
Heard this line before.
Yeah. Heard it all
Oh, heard it
before.
all before. Yep. That was a bad cut.
But it ain't working no
It ain't
something
working
like
yet.
that.
The
I'm fucking
line
this song
ain't
up.
working. Well, where we at? Where we at?
Isaiah 47 verse 10. For
Yes,
thou
so
hast
great,
trusted
and,
in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me.
That's your Illuminati.
Yeah.
You have trusted in your wickedness. The demons on the left-hand side. God has what?
Thou hast said, none seeth me.
Nobody sees me. Because there was a time, if you go back 20, 30 years ago, you ask somebody who the Rothschilds are, who the Illuminati, they don't know. Now everybody knows. The guys in the hip-hop community, the hip-hop world,
Yep.
was rapping about the Illuminati, man.
Yep. Mob Deep. when he was alive. They always talked about the Illuminati.
That's it. Go ahead.
Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Right.
Yeah, because at one time that's you so-called white people, you Edomites.
Yep, that pride, man.
Go ahead.
Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly.
Yeah, like Pharaoh of old. You missed the plagues that came upon him. He couldn't do nothing with them plagues.
Them plagues is kicking in the head.
Go ahead.
And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries.
So you're gonna go to the left-hand side.
Yep.
You're gonna plead to your demons and the spiritual demons, Satan. And you know what you're gonna find out, man? That Satan was a double agent. Satan was always on the Most High side.
Of course.
But he played it off like he wasn't
Yeah.
on the Most High side.
Like he's fighting against the Most High.
That's it.
The
Like he's
deceived
fighting
and the
against-
deceiver.
That's where I was going. I was going there too.
That's a
You nailed it.
Jab.
that's a faint.
The Most High is beautiful.
You nailed it, lad.
That's a
That's his faint jab, faint uppercut. Whoa.
yeah.
Pow.
Huh.
Good
Coming
night,
back with the
Irene.
hook. Huh.
Yeah,
Put
little
That's the
shot.
nigga going down. Hit him with another hook.
Lights out.
Uppercut.
Put the head to bed.
Lights out, Esau.
Lights out, Esau.
Job 12 and 16, what you just quoted. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his.
Meaning the Most High controls both sides.
Control both sides. Well, since you said that, if I get that real quick, Isaiah 45 and 7. Because it's all about them precepts.
It's all about them precepts.
Isaiah
baby.
45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things.
Yeah, that's what you call it right there.
What's
title.
that?
What you just said with the Most High controls both sides. Something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I
Yeah.
started for a video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you got these morons in these so-called churches. They think Satan is battling the Most High. Satan ain't battling the Most High.
That's
You
that
crazy?
Greek mythology
Satan works for
bullshit.
the Most High.
Satan
man.
works for the
Satan
Most
is
High.
Double agent, man.
He's a double agent.
Can I read this real quick? This is
That's
Ecclesiastes.
a video right there. Satan,
Yeah, come.
Oh, yeah.
Satan always been a double agent.
Yeah.
Esau.
Ecclesiastes 42 and 22. Oh, how desirable are all his works, and that a man may see even to a spark. All these things live and remain forever for all uses, and they are all obedient. All things are double one against another, and he hath made nothing imperfect.
Yeah, even Satan was made perfect.
Con.
Satan is doing exactly what the Most High
Want him to do, yeah.
And that's why them demons that possessed that man had to jump back when they saw it was the Lord.
Yeah.
Or even them demons, the vagabond Jews.
Yeah.
Now the vagabond Jews would be like a group like Adam Abbott.
Oh, yeah,
Think
yeah.
the Lord, they call on the name of the Lord, and the demons
Yeah.
will still kick your ass.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though you call on the name of the Lord.
Yeah.
And they'll say, look, I'm Adam Abbott. All I know is
Yeah, how shall
how shall I know, and for all I know, but who are you?
But who the hell are you?
Goodbye, no goodbye. You know?
Hey, they
That's what
Who
the demons
is you?
know us, man.
Oh, yeah,
And when
yeah.
you first come to this truth, when
Oh,
you're sleeping,
man. Yeah,
like,
man.
You ever go to sleep and you feel like something holding you down?
Yeah,
You never felt that?
all the time.
You felt it? Yeah. And when I first came to the truth, and
Yeah.
before I came to the truth, them demons don't mess with me no more.
Yeah.
Now when they do come, that old feeble spirit,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
oh no, demons is in the room.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you like
yeah.
get mad, like, fuck, man.
Yeah, yeah.
The name of Yahweh about you now, like,
That's
get the
it.
hell up out of here,
That's
man.
it. That's right.
Of all my mother's pregnancies, I was the worst one. She labored with me for 3 days.
What do they call that? Like, what do
It's
they
just the
actually-
demons. That's all it is. It's demons. It's demons, man.
They knew.
We don't got to go into a long
What?
Nah.
topic on that.
No.
What?
They knew what we would
Somebody
do.
say something?
Yeah, Bonaya lawyer said Abbott is saying he's Peter now.
He is? Well, I mean, if he is, I'm not surprised.
Peter Popoff.
Yeah, Peter Pop.
Peter Popoff.
Peter
now.
Rabbit.
Peter Popoff. Peter Rabbit.
Peter Pepper Pig Peppers.
With Run Rock Rhyme.
Peter Rabbit.
Yeah, Peter Rabbit.
If he
Humpty
thinks
Dumpty
he's-
fell down.
If he thinks he's Peter,
Yeah.
this is the Most High getting ready to. He getting ready to.
He's Peter, all
Mama,
right.
come here quick. And
Bring
give
me.
me that licking stick.
Da, da, da,
Mama,
da.
come here quick. And give me that licking stick. Mama, come here quick.
And give me
The
that.
licking stick. In the back of the licking stick.
Yeah. The harmony. Yeah. Oh, James is bad.
Licking stick.
Yeah, James is no joke.
Mama, come here quick.
Yeah.
And bring me that licking stick.
Old school all the way.
And that's what the Most High gonna do. Okay?
Yeah, he's Peter,
Lick
all
his
right.
That's the father telling the mother, give me that licking stick so I can do
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
The Most High gonna use that licking stick on you, man.
You
You
let
done
at least being lifted pride.
then your pride done surpassed the
Is that
heavens, man.
1 Timothy 3.
But nobody's gonna get on him. Dunyal is not gonna get on him.
Nope.
Alizé's not gonna get on. None of them guys gonna get on him, man.
Yeah,
Next thing you'll be saying he's Yahweh Shah.
And he said the other guy that's with him, they say he's John.
Oh, these dudes, them
Yeah.
dudes out there fucking mind, man.
The guy's crazy.
They out there damn mind.
You Peter, all right? Peter Bed.
Yeah, Peter Papa.
Peter Popoff. 1 Timothy 3 and 6.
But you know what? If you notice, I haven't said nothing about that's like 2 weeks. That's last week's news.
That's all. Yeah.
Oh, it says. He
They-
said, I'm sorry, Apostle. He said, Khan, I forgot that. And they say they have the eyes to know who the other prophets are.
Good,
Oh, okay,
good. Well,
all
why
right,
don't you
yeah.
come and do a video on that?
Okay. All right, man. Okay, man.
And somebody is asking the question, how can I donate to the Brotherhood?
You tell them you got to get in contact with
What is that? Great Millstone.info?
on great GMS on air.
Oh yeah,
GMS on
if you go to the YouTube page GMS on air and maybe send that brother the elder a text or something like that, he'll direct you.
Yeah, that's a YouTube page. We don't deal with all that, man.
Con.
You know what I'm saying?
Unlike other guys we know, all about that Monet.
Like the Baconator.
Count de Monet. 1 Timothy 3 and 6. It says, not a novice, least being lifted up with pride, he fall into the condemnation of the devil.
Yeah, man, that dude just got in this thing 2 years ago. He came to us, shalom to all, this, that, and the third. And now all of a sudden he's over everybody? Are you out there damn mind, man?
It don't work that way.
And the Most High gave you strong delusion that you may believe a lie.
Yeah.
These
Hey,
guys
well,
are something
remember, I
else.
don't know if you remember the Seattle Snake. He used to call himself Joshua.
Oh, yeah.
He said he believed he knew he was Joshua.
He was a kid. He was a kid.
Yeah.
Who was reading? That's
What, did you
We're
have
still in
were
Isaiah 47.
yeah,
And I
correct.
believe I left off at 12. It says, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit.
If I may comment on that, labored from thy youth, you go back to the so-called founding forefathers, they were all, warlocks and witches. They don't tell you that.
Even Masons.
Masons.
Yeah. There's a YouTube video. I think it's titled something to the effect of true religion of the founding forefathers.
Yeah.
And they were all into witchcraft,
Yep.
Masons. And that's why D.C., Washington, D.C. was set up with that whole Masonic
Structure.
Baphomet.
Yeah.
I'm not the Baphomet. The owl. What's the owl?
Oh, Olive Molech.
The owl Molech the owl, and then they had the obelisk coming right through the. Well, they had the Capitol building right in the belly,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then you had a big what was that? Was it pentagram? I think it was a pentagram.
Yep, pentagram.
I believe so. Yeah.
You know, so that whole
streets,
layout,
yeah.
that whole layout is Masonic.
Yeah.
On your dollar bills, Masonic.
Oh, the lot
Ancient-
number?
Huh?
The lot number was
The
66.
the lot number was 666.
666, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, we could go on.
We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man.
No, not at all.
Your power, just like the young elders reading, your power is on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Isaiah 47 verse 10.
We went down to, years ago, we went down to the Egyptian obelisk,
Yep.
Washington Monument. We did a show right there at the foot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And above ground, it's 555 feet. Below ground's 111 feet. You put it together, that's 666.
But the average person doesn't know that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, also, what else? Washington, D.C. is filled with all kind of witchcraft and different symbols.
This is what the scriptures say, how are the hidden things of Esau searched out.
Right.
You know? Because all these secrets are coming out because this is the Lord revealing them. So after he reveals them, then he's going to bring the destruction upon them.
Yeah, you got which he's the greatest warlock according to Esau that lived. Albert Pike. You got a giant statue of Albert Pike right in the what do you call it, the courts.
He was a low-level guy any damn way.
Well, they all hail this guy.
Yeah, but he was a low-level guy.
Yeah.
You know?
They all hail him.
I mean, he was up there.
Yeah. They call him the father of Scottish masonry, something like that.
He created the KKK too, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
gentleman.
He had many titles.
And in that book, Morals and Dogma, he praised Lucifer.
Yeah, Lucifer. Yep.
So anybody that's a Mason, you're really worshiping Lucifer, you just don't know about it.
Yeah. Like a lot of you jakes out there, to build on the apostle what he just said. A lot of you jakes out there, you got those decals on the back of your car. You have no idea what that's all about. You got the golf club with the 2 balls on each side,
Goes back to
2-ball cane. You have no idea what that's
Which
about.
is Cain. It's one of the sons of Cain, which is one of the sons of Esau.
Yeah, some of you have that 5-pointed star decal. Some of you have the what is it? The compass and the square. You have no idea what those things are all wicked, man.
And
Those
a
are
lot of you Negroes, you think 32 and 33rd degree is the highest level. Don't you know they got 97 degrees, man?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, somebody spoke about the Bohemian Grove.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
niggas
in
don't know
Sonoma.
about the Bohemian. Hey, Jay-Z ain't never went to the Bohemian Grove. I said Grove.
Hey,
Them politicians go out there, man. Mainly them Republicans.
brother named Micah 144,000 says, what y'all think about the so-called explosion in NYC? They say it's a so-called
You
UFO
talked about
behind
it.
it.
Well, that's what I said.
Did a video on
That
that.
it sounds like a cover-up, man.
Yeah.
Because you got to watch. You can do it right now. Go to Secure Team 10. That white boy does a video on it, which he might be a Jake, and he spoke about it, and he said we're not sure what it is.
Right.
But they had transformer explosion before, and you know what it does? It does emit a blue light, but it flickers. It flickers, then it stops. Then it might flicker over here, then it stops. It doesn't. There's no such thing as a blue light that just. They said that the light was out there. It was nighttime. It was 9 o'clock.
Right.
It lightened up the whole sky, and they said people from Manhattan saw it, people from the Bronx saw it, you know, people all over Queens saw it, and they said it lit up the sky, and it was 9 o'clock nighttime, and it turned into daytime.
Yeah,
So they don't know if it's and they said nobody got, a blast like that, nobody got injured.
right.
You know, somebody's eye was irritated, nobody got injured. Come on, man.
Yeah, he said that people in Jersey seen it from the Jersey Shore. They were
Yeah, you
able
see
to
that, yeah, which is not that far, you know, Queens.
I got something real quick. This is Exodus chapter 40. Let me make sure I got the right chapter. Chapter 40. I'll start at 36. And when the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward in all their journeys. But if the cloud were not taken up when they journeyed, nor not till the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the tabernacle by day, and fire was on it by night, in the sight of all the house of Israel throughout all their journeys, because there wasn't any lights out in the wilderness. So the chariot lit it up, and the scriptures speak about the chariots and the lights that they have, you know. So
Yeah, that Aurora Borealis, that could be the chariots. Northern Lights.
So, you know, we're still waiting for more information. You know, we're not going to look for it and stuff like that. We're not going to try to figure it out. We're going to let one of them Edomites Because them Edomites always come up, and them Edomites, man.
Yeah.
And like this guy, Michael Rivera.
Oh, Rivera, yeah.
Who else? There's a lot of those guys that's all into that
Yeah,
shit. That's
yeah.
all they do. They spend their life on Secure Team 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what they
Yeah,
were
well,
set up to do.
Well, what was that in Daniel? There is no secret they can hide from thee.
That's it.
Meaning Esau like to check. He checks everything out. That's what he
checks
does.
Everything out. He has the resources to do it. Man.
That's what he does. Yeah.
You know?
Thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. To quote the scripture.
It could be an actual transformer that exploded.
Right.
Or it could be a cover-up.
Or they're
It's
probably
a-
doing EMP. I know they
Well,
got
that's
an
what I thought it was
EMP
EMP.
agenda. Yeah.
Electric magnetic
Pulse.
Pulse.
Pulse. Yeah.
Right.
Now the guy on the Security Team 10, this was out maybe about a month or so ago, where they had closed down one of those airports in England. It was the second biggest airport in England, because they said somebody was flying around drones. But then witnesses said that they saw a disc in the air. You know? So they closed down the whole airport because of a drone, because of a goddamn drone, and they had the military come, the helicopters and all that. So a lot of times they'll do what's called cover-ups, man.
Right. Yep.
You know, you see a blue light, everybody's bugging out for 5 minutes straight, and you wonder what the hell's going on, is it the end of the world?
Yep.
What the Israelites, right?
Yep.
So then what Esau got to do is, they know what it is, but they said, look, we got to make up a story.
Yep.
We can't let the people know what's going on.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
think they're going to come out and say, over Las Vegas, there's so-called the fleet of UFOs? Esau ain't going to speak about that.
That's why, see, like now they could make those explanations, but when Yahushua comes back, it says that the sun shall be darkened and the moon shall not give a light. So they're not going to be able to give an explanation about it.
Right.
You know, they ain't going to be able to say, well, that's this and
Right.
that, and make it go away for people
Right.
don't look at it.
Plus, he said, "All eyes shall see me." So,
Hey, well,
you know.
if there's UFOs that cover the skies, let's say there's a UFO, so-called UFO in New York City,
Right.
the size of Manhattan, 13 miles, you know, in diameter. There's no way you can
Lie about
explain that shit away.
Right.
That's right.
Zephaniah.
I got a quick precept now that you said that. Quick precept for you.
To them UFO,
Yeah.
You got that?
Scriptures too.
Zechariah 5?
No idea. What was?
Zechariah 5?
not talk about the exact moment.
Yeah. Okay.
The exact moment the Sabbath comes in.
Yeah, real
That
quick
ain't,
precept.
that ain't the goddamn gospel, man. What's wrong with them?
They were bugged out. Joel 2:20, real quick. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke.
Right.
So that's future prophecy.
You got the blood moon coming up
Yeah.
in January, like towards the end of January.
Yeah, wonders in the heavens. Those are the chariots, part of the wonders. And then the Lord told us when we see it, not to be dismayed at them. Be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, because we understand what they are. We understand they're the chariots of the Lord.
Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered,
That's a so-called UFO, a chariot, a flying saucer, whatever you want to call it. An
Yeah.
UFO. Go ahead.
You know, there's a painting of Michelangelo where he actually painted I forgot what it's called, and he painted a chariot, and he painted a light beaming down from the
Yeah,
chariot.
because there's eyewitnesses that saw chariots back then.
Yeah,
There's eyewitnesses that saw chariots back in ancient Egypt.
yeah.
You know?
If anyone knows the name of that painting, they can put it up on the comment board. I think it was Michelangelo that painted it. So they knew about the chariots back then.
and they got paintings of chariots with angel in it.
Yeah.
Flying. And that's an old painting too. And
Yeah.
they can't say that somebody just came up with that shit.
If you put in UFOs in the Bible or something like that, or UFO paintings or something like that,
UFO paintings.
it gives you a whole bunch of paintings that have actual chariots in it. And some of them are just regular, and some of them have actual people in them.
Yep.
Yeah, not to mention Christopher Columbus, which his real name was Cristobal Colon. He saw a chariot. He called it Saint Elmo's Fire.
Yep. St. Elmo's Fire. During the time of the siege in 70 AD, there was many chariots in the sky. And that's in Josephus.
Right.
During the time of the Maccabees, you can go to that. What is that? I believe that either first Maccabees 9 or second Maccabees 9, which speaks about the chariots. Either first Maccabees 9
talking
or
about
second.
when the horses were
Well,
coming.
yeah, those are chariots. That was either first Maccabees 9 or second Maccabees 9.
Second.
9. I think you started at the very top.
And then what about back in 1950, was it? When a bunch of chariots came over the White House?
Yep.
And I
Well,
forgot.
they deny it, you know.
Yeah. And then not too long after that, that's when they started making those It Came from Outer Space movies. Because that inspired a lot of those B movies back in the 50s.
Are you speaking about the one where they kicked Heliodor's ass?
No, the one where the chariots filled the sky.
Oh, somebody put it. It's the Madonna and the Child. That's the name of the
Okay,
painting.
good. The Madonna and the child. The water.
You see, we know our facts back here, man. You know, facts speak the loudest.
Well, I'm keep on reading in Zechariah. So it says, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying road. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. In my Bible here, it says 30 feet by 15 feet. They got.
Go ahead and speak. I'm trying to look.
Then
Yeah,
said he.
somebody put a comment. Truman spoke publicly on those chariots. Yeah, that was after they were invaded back in the early 50s by those chariots. And do you know they scrambled, not too long after those chariots came, they scrambled jets into the air to try to fight those chariots. They don't tell you that.
That was back in the 50s.
That was back in the early 50s, yeah. So this government has always known about the so-called UFOs. And our forefathers, we sang about the so-called UFOs in the slave fields. What the hell do you think we were singing? That song,
Swing low, sweet cherry.
that was an old Jake that came up with that. Because he was catching all kind of hell, and that spirit came on him, and he just sang that song, swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I forgot the name of the Jake that came up with
I'm
the song.
sorry, it's second Maccabees 5 and 1.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the Jake slave that came up with that song. But that song became very popular amongst our nation, man. And he was talking about the so-called so-called UFO, the chariot of the Lord, swing low, sweet chariot.
Yeah.
Because he was in slavery. He wanted the chariot. Then he said, I look over the River Jordan. What did I see? Now the River Jordan goes back to the land of Israel. Don't go back to no Africa.
Right.
So they knew that they were Israelites back then, man.
Man, that's
Dig it.
But this so-called white man has deceived the whole world, man. He has deceived the whole world with his lies.
And he's going to deceive the whole world, most of the whole world, to take that chip.
Wallace,
Deceive him.
the brother put it, the brother from Hawaii, the water bro, Wallace Willis. That was his name.
Wallace Willis.
Hey, even Eric Clapton made his own rendition of Swing Low. He was getting down too. He had that reggae beat, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, which proves Eric Clapton, he got to be a Jake, man.
Everybody can't be a Jake brother.
Yeah, he needs some slave. No, Eric Clapton got soul. That motherfucker got soul.
Yeah.
That ain't no white boy. They call him Slow Hand. They call him that for a reason. He played the shit out of that guitar. He just thinks he's a so-called white man.
Yeah.
You got it.
Second Maccabees chapter 5, verse 1. About the same time, Antiochus prepared his second voyage into Egypt. And then it happened that through all the city, for the space almost of 40 days, there were seen horsemen running in the air, in cloth of gold, and armed with lances, like a band of soldiers, and troops of horsemen in array.
If I may comment on the horsemen, it's the same thing Elijah said. No, Elisha, I'm sorry. He said that to Elijah, the horsemen there of 2 Kings 2 and 12, if I can get that real quick. Yeah, 2 Kings 2 and 12.
Talking about
There it is right here.
641.
Yeah, 2 Kings 2 and 12 to add to what you just read. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces, because Elijah was taken up by that chariot from Elisha. He was abducted, if you will. You got it.
All right. 2 Maccabees 5 verse 3. And troops of horsemen in array, encountering and running one against another, with shaking of shields and multitude of pikes, and drawing of swords and casting of darts, and glittering of golden ornaments and harness of all sorts. Wherefore every man prayed that apparition might turn to good.
Yeah, because that shows you that the angels are in array, like battle array.
Right.
Like the Lord said, you know, them that rejoice in my highness, because when they come back, they're coming back to do battle.
Right.
Ooh.
You know?
As birds flying. What's that? Isaiah 30.
Isaiah
31:5.
I think that's the scripture says the armies of heaven.
Right.
Yep.
Armies of heaven.
Well, that's what the Lord said. He's called the Lord of Hosts,
Lord
Got
of,
it.
Lord
You
of
know?
armies.
Lord of the armies.
That's Lord of the Sabbath, man.
Right.
Yeah, to back you up, the book of Isaiah 31:5. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also he will deliver it, and passing over he will preserve it. How's he going to pass over? In those chariots.
Yeah. Well, that's during the time of the Passover when the angel came over.
Passed
What
over.
did he do? He passed over Israel's sins. But this time, when the angels pass over, they're coming to deliver the elect.
That's right.
You know,
right.
directly. You know, not just protect them from their firstborn being killed, but actually deliver them from the hell that's coming.
And to back you up, there's a scripture in the book of Revelation where it says the elect will be standing over the firmament, and they will give glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because they're going to pass over the
Yeah,
destruction.
Revelation 15.
Yeah.
Go to Revelation 15, 1 and 2. Oh, and if you take the chip, you ain't gonna get in the ship.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That's-
That was poetry.
Poetry in motion.
That apostle is a Shakespeare. I'm telling you, he's a G.
He good. He good.
Yeah.
Revelation 15 and 1.
Oh, man.
And I saw another sign in heaven.
Brothers are cracking up.
Yes, sir. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark.
So what's that mark?
Dang.
Yeah.
That mark?
Yeah, what
And
is
that's
that mark?
talking about we're gonna be beamed up in these ships. You listening, Nazi? Nasty Nas? We're gonna get beamed up into these ships. All right? And we're gonna be in the over the firmament, if
Right.
you will.
Right.
And we're gonna see the destruction.
Right.
Somebody hold Psalms 91.
Right.
We'll read that. And we're gonna see the destruction of them. And the ones that are in the ship, they're not gonna have no chips in it, man.
Right.
That's right.
That's
They're just
beautiful.
gonna
Oh,
have to
glorify
go
ye,
out.
Lord.
They're gonna have the righteous mark.
Glorify the Lord in the fires.
Glorify the Lord in the fire.
what is that?
Isaiah 24.
Isaiah 24.
It says, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High.
Dang.
And they sing.
Hold up, there's gonna be music up in there, man.
Yeah,
My
man.
brother Masha Pot, he said he had a dream. He goes under a GMS event. He said he was beamed up in the ship, and at the bottom of the ship was a glass.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
It was a
That's
glass
right.
floor.
Right.
And you can look down and see, well, that's Psalms
Yeah.
91.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Also, Isaiah, who are these that fly as a dove to their window,
That's
the
it.
windows? Yeah.
That's it.
Only with thine eyes shall thou
Because we
behold.
got to see.
We got to see it.
We ain't gonna be in no metal silvery shit.
Rattling.
It's gonna be like Esau, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's rattling.
Yeah, the shit is rattling.
Feel like it's going to come apart.
Yeah, hey, this is gonna be majestic, man.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and that, but when you look down, you're gonna see.
Yeah.
You're gonna see.
Only with thine eyes.
Only with thine eyes. So thou behold the reward of the wicked.
Yeah, like when
that's
that-
talking about wicked Israelites too.
Right.
Niggas that done took the chip. We gonna say, look, I told that nigga not to take the shit. The chip. See you run down the street. Over the missile.
Fire on his ass. Yeah.
Fire bun.
And like that Challenger, when it went up in the air, you just know that thing was rattling. Feel like every bolt was going to come
Hey,
out.
when that happened, I was in the camp. Hey, Shia boy, he did like a routine, like a
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live routine on it. He said they was blowing whistles, they were eating popcorn.
Yeah.
They went up in the heavens, oh, it's a beautiful flight. They eat popcorn and shit. All of a sudden, boom, boom, boom.
Yep. They said they found.
They said there's been a major malfunction. We don't know what happened to the crew. Look, I could have told you what happened to the crew. They're all dead.
Yeah, they said they were in pieces.
I remember
they
I
were
was driving
pieces.
cab back then.
Yeah.
And I remember I picked up this Edomite woman, if I remember correctly. I took her up the hill. Then they had me pick her ass back up. I said, no, I gotta go home. The vessel, the shit that blew up.
Yeah.
That rocket that blew up and the shit.
Yeah.
And the dude, what was his name? Ron McNair?
Ron McNair, yeah.
Yeah, he's related to Yeshua.
Yeshua said that, yeah.
He's related to Yeshua.
Yeah.
You know?
That simple ass
He said, I'm
nigga.
gonna go up, I'm gonna go up to heaven. I'm gonna play a saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna play a saxophone, all right?
Yeah.
Playing that damn fire.
Here's a quick scripture. Isaiah 24:15, which backs up what you just read. Wherefore glorify ye the Lord in the fires. And we're gonna do just that.
Yeah.
Glorify the Lord, saying Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We ain't gonna say no Christ.
Well, it says that in Revelation 11.
Yeah. Wherefore glorify ye the Lord in the fires. What are the fires? That nuclear destruction along with the chariots. Glorify the Lord wherefore glorify ye the Lord in the fires, even the name of the Lord power of Israel in the isles of the sea. What's his name? Christ?
Yahweh, Hashem Yahushua.
Come on, man.
Zechariah was it? Zechariah 9 and 12.
It says even the name of the Lord power, man. What is that Christ? Come on, man.
Zechariah chapter 9, verse 12. Turn ye to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope.
And we are prisoners of hope. Go ahead.
Even today do I declare that I will render double unto thee. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim.
And that's the one thing this so-called white man's afraid of. There's one thing to go wake up and find out that you Judah, right? Or the so-called Jews.
Right.
But it's another thing for Ephraim to get together, because what does it say? Read again.
It says, when I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim.
So what is Judah? Judah's a bow.
Right.
Judah's a bow.
Right.
Ephraim is the arrow, which is the other tribe.
Yep.
So they're going to come together.
Yep.
You
That's
know?
that stick, that one stick.
That's it.
It says, and raised up thy sons, O Zion.
Now we used to say, Shai used to mainly say, Zion is only talking about Judah. No, Zion is talking about the whole nation.
That's right.
Right. Like they used to teach at the old school, the house of David was the tribe of Judah. No, the house of David was a whole nation.
Right.
During the time period of David when he was ruling, man.
That's right. It says, against thy, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece.
Now, right there, the word Greece does not translate into Yawan, does not translate into Hellenistas or Hellenen. It translates into the word Yawan.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
is one of the sons of Japhet.
Right.
But those are not the sons of Japhet.
Right.
What Esau did was went into the land of Japhet.
Right.
Just like Gog and Magog represent Russia, and them Gog, Magog,
Right.
Meshach, and Tubal, those European areas, man, which include Russia.
Got a precept for you, Apostle. Psalm 49 and 11 to back you up. Because Esau took over that land and started calling himself that. Psalm 49, 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
That's it.
So Esau took on that title Greek, which goes back to Japheth, Yawan.
Yeah. Yeah, because they even called themselves the Egyptians when they went up and Ptolemy.
Yeah,
Ptolemy
Ptolemy
went up in there.
Yep, that's right, bro.
They
They dressed in the.
Yup,
Yep.
and the regalia of the pharaohs and all that.
They were speaking the what is that? You had
Coptic.
No, but before that you had
The
you had the hieroglyphs, and then you had another language.
started with an S.
Demontic.
Demotic, yeah,
Demontic, and then you had the Greeks.
Right.
And that's how Esau was able to decipher those writings.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, okay.
Because
Right.
remember, during the time when Egypt was in power, and after they was in power,
Right.
you had a lot of Greek influence.
Right,
You
right.
know?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, because when Ptolemy the first created...
That was the Rosetta Stone.
Rosetta Stone.
If you look up the Rosetta Stone, there's 3 languages on there. Hieroglyph, Demontic, and Greek.
Yeah, when Ptolemy the First created Serapis, it was based upon Egypt philosophy. It was the worship of Apis the bull
Right.
and Osiris.
Sorry, yep.
So he combined the two and came up with that so-called god Serapis. But of course he put his face because it was them ruling.
Right.
But that's what Esau does. He just takes a little bit of everything and puts
Well,
it all together.
he's an ultimate culture vulture.
Yep.
And then later it became Jesus Christos. Then later it became Jesus Christ. So that's what you people are worshiping, man. You're worshiping a figment of Ptolemy the First imagination when you worship Christ.
Right.
How about that?
That's it.
Dig it.
Because Christ don't exist. And you're going to find that out. You people are going to find that out, man.
Right. So back in Zechariah 9, and I started 13 again. When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece, and made thee as a sword of a mighty man. And the Lord shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning, and the Lord power shall blow the trumpet, and shall go with whirlwinds of the south.
Yeah, those are the other chariots. Because he's coming with the big chariot, and then behind them is going to be a whole bunch of other chariots. That's the best way I can say. And that's also Daniel, because Michael the archangel will also be with Yahushua. Daniel 12th chapter, the first verse.
Yep. It says, the Lord of hosts.
Lord of armies.
Yep.
Those are the armies. They are the chariots.
Woo,
with
the
the
Lord,
angels.
I'm sorry.
No, with the angels. Yeah, go
The
ahead.
Lord of hosts shall defend them.
There you go.
As Isaiah 31 and 5 just read.
Yeah, we just read it. Yeah.
It says, and they shall devour and subdue with sling stones, and they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like the bowls and as the corners of the altar. Because when you had the altar, you sacrificed the animals, there were bowls that would catch the blood.
Right.
Catch the blood.
You know?
So there's going to be a lot of blood, man. A lot of destruction, a lot of death. I think in the Revelation it says blood shall be as high as the horse's
bridle.
The horse's bridle. So that's a lot of blood, people. A lot of blood. And that's why all the prophets, they spoke about the great day of the Lord, how dreadful it is, how terrible it is. Because they saw it, man. The prophets were seers. They actually saw it.
I have a precept.
And the Lord putting the Spirit on us, beginning with Elder Apostle on down.
Like the Apostle John,
Yeah.
when he wrote about the mark of the beast, he actually saw what we see on video.
Yeah.
Them videos that we be seeing, guys sitting there taking it, he actually saw that,
Yeah.
so he wrote it down.
Right.
You know?
And then, yeah, to back up what Elder Apostle Tar said, the Lord is putting the Spirit on us, beginning with Elder Apostle Tar on down, to show it to show it to you, brothers, man.
Paint that picture.
To paint the picture, to give you the vision.
Right.
What is that? Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter.
Yep, that's right.
Write the vision, make it plain upon tables,
to make it plain upon tables, meaning break it down to the people so they can understand it.
so they can understand it.
That's it.
And we have the vision of the chip, man. The RFID chip, that's the mark of the beast, man. That's the mark of the beast all the way. Go ahead, bro. You got
All right, this is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 24. Therefore saith the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, I will ease me of mine adversaries, and avenge me of mine enemies. And I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away all thy tin.
Ease me up.
And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterward thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city.
Oh, that part, I will restore thy judges. That's what Yahushua told his disciples. You shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel, man. You got it, bro.
Verse 27, Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness.
Yeah.
And the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together. And they
That's Esau.
that forsake the Lord shall be consumed.
Yeah, that's
Two-thirds
two-thirds of
of it.
Israel. An example of you forsaking the Lord is taking that damn chip.
Yep. For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded for the gardens that ye have chosen. For ye shall be as an oak whose leaf fadeth, and as a garden that hath no water. And the strong shall be as tow, and the maker of it as a spark and they shall both burn together, and none shall quench them.
Yeah, that's that nuclear destruction along with the chariots.
Yeah, somebody put dross, noun, something regarded as worthless, rubbish. You know, that's like when you the impurities that are on precious metals.
Yeah, oxidation.
Oxidation.
Makes it look all brown and
Right.
Oh.
And dirty.
dirty.
Yeah.
And you wipe it clean.
Off, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
us, man.
yeah.
Kind of.
With
Hey,
that drawer.
the Lord says he's making up his fair jewels.
Making up his jewels, yep.
You know, when you pull a precious stone or something out of the ground,
Yeah.
it's all messed up. You
Yep.
got to clean it
Yep.
up, you
Yep.
know, purify it,
Yeah, diamond in the rough.
mold it.
Yeah,
I got
'cause-
second Ezra, the 13th chapter. You got something?
No, I was gonna say because in the kingdom we're literally gonna shine.
God, there's one in
was looking
Daniel 12 and
Yeah, yeah. Let me
there's
get
one
that.
there.
So when you wipe away the dross from the jewels,
Right.
what happens? It shines.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what attracts people to it. You know,
Shine.
they see the shininess. Like if you see a gold chain that's all dirty,
Right.
and you see one that's shiny, your eye's gonna go to the one that's shining.
Right.
Yeah, it is right here. Daniel 12:3. There was another one that Yahweh Shai said it. Daniel 12:3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. That's a pretty big shine. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. So we're literally going to shine in the kingdom. We're going to shine.
Yeah.
So it ain't going to be no doubt who's an Israelite because they're going to have that glow. They're going to have that shine. The other nations ain't going to have that. You Edomites, you definitely ain't going to have that. You're going to look pitiful in the kingdom.
So they look pitiful in their kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ain't that something?
brother put one in Ecclesiastes 8:1. Who is as the wise man, and who knoweth the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom maketh his face to shine, and the boldness of his face shall be changed.
Well, wait a minute. When Moses came down the mountain, Mount Sinai, the scripture said the skin of his face shone because he was in the presence of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai.
That's why you have to wear the veil.
So he had to wear that veil because the Israelites, them being wicked, they couldn't endure the shine.
Man.
That's heavy, man. You got what? You got?
I remember one that dealt with Moses was Yahweh Shai.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. That's right. And
Because,
yeah.
because he said, he spoke about the rock, he smote the rock,
Yep.
and that's why he couldn't go in the land of Israel.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And then in 1 Corinthians the 10th chapter tell you that rock was Yahweh Shai.
Rock was Yahweh Shai.
So the one that was communicating to him was the Lord and the angels of the Lord. Just like John the Apostle on the Isle of Patmos, it wasn't the Lord directly dealing with him, it was the angel.
Yeah.
But the Lord showed himself.
Yeah.
I had a precept.
Yeah. In the 4th chapter of the book of Revelation, the Lord he actually saw the Lord.
Yeah.
Then he
Well,
saw
the
Yahweh
first
Shai.
chapter too.
Yeah, Khan. Then he saw Yahweh Shai, came and took the book and
Yep.
all of
The
that.
5th chapter. Yep.
That had to be a hell of a vision, man.
Yep. John saw a lot of
Saw a lot of things.
heavy things, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a precept dealing with the whole of us, dealing with us shining and
Oh, the brother put, if I may read it, the brother put Samak Amath. That's the scripture I was thinking about. Matthew 13:43. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who have ears to hear, let him hear. And Yahweh Shai said that. Because not everybody, who have ears to hear, let him hear, means not everybody's going to be able to understand what is written there. And we're starting to see that, brothers. Very few Israelites really understand these scriptures, man. I mean, really understand it. We got a lot of bug outs in this nation.
Well, what them guys are going through is Romans 11 and 9.
Yeah, you got a lot of bug outs in there. I mean, some of
We
the
got a lot
comments,
guys bugging out.
Man.
And we remember back in One West, guys that bugged out.
Yeah.
It's like, ain't no different.
ain't nothing new.
Guys that got it one day and said that they hold everybody.
Yep.
They gonna do this, and then wind up disappearing, man, or bugging out, or killing themselves.
And some of the comments, you read it, and you say, what the fuck is this guy talking about? It's a total bug out, man.
You gotta leave them bug outs alone, man.
Yeah, just leave him alone. Yeah, and another thing, I'm glad Apostle Elder said that. You guys got to stop going down to these other camps, especially IUIC. What are you trying to prove, man? Them guys,
First of all, they're trained.
Yeah.
To say. They don't think with their own mind.
you guys are young, you watching us, and then you think you can go and handle those. What are you trying to prove, man?
Exactly.
Leave those guys alone, man. Those guys are bugged out, man. You're just wasting your time. Unless you like wasting your time and making yourself look like a fool, you can go and do it.
Cashing out your pearls before swine.
That's it.
Reprove a fool, and you shall get the blood.
Yeah, you don't see Elder Apostle Tal say, you know what, brothers, today we're going to go to IUIC camp and we're going to go and confound them. We're going to go.
That's a complete waste of time.
You don't see us doing that, man. So why are you doing it?
Just forget them.
They that be ignorant, let them be ignorant. They that be
Oh, well, get 2nd Ezra 15. Start from the top on that one. Read the second verse.
You got to wait, you know, like.
Hey, look, we're at the point now. Hey, well, like Jaquan always said, if a nigga can't get it,
I was just
kidding.
kidding. Yeah.
Hey, like Danya Allah. Hey, we got all over Danya Allah, right? And you
Yeah.
know he still haven't come back and made a video on the market of beef being chip.
Yeah.
He filming that dude, that snake oil salesman. What's his name? Yahweh Shop. That Benjamin, that fast fucking Benjamin that's selling you some fucking magical water. And the dude ain't got no pin on his face. So after a point, we see that Danya Allah wasn't going to answer, wasn't going to respond.
Right.
So we ain't saying nothing about him no more. We already found out what type of man you are. That's why I said in one video, I said I lost respect for you, man.
I lost respect for you.
I had a little respect for you, but man, the respect is almost gone.
Yeah.
And your partner, Lloyd, he's turning in his grave.
Oh, yeah. He's mad at you.
He's mad. He's looking down to heaven, mad as hell. Asking the Most High to let me come back in the body for one day.
Yeah.
Cause you showed that you're a bullshit artist, man.
Yeah.
I did say you were cool. You are cool, but guess what? You're not a man of the Lord, man.
Cool don't cut it with the
Cool
Lord.
don't cut it. Up
That's
in
right.
here.
That's right.
Defenders of the gospel, baby.
You ain't defending the gospel. Because when the young brother from Mississippi, Gazak, which was Yahweh Shai,
It's coming back.
Yahweh Shai is coming back.
Yeah.
Not Jesus Christ is coming back. Yahweh Shai, if he put up Jesus Christ, we would
Oh,
check
man.
that too. We'd check his ass.
Yeah.
We'd check him quick, you know? And we be talking about this thing is out of here.
You are getting
Well,
chalked.
we don't need to have a count. He's out of here.
Like-
Anyway, under the avatar, Yahweh Shai is coming back. He asked you on a live stream when I was actually watching it. What about the mark of the beast?
Yeah.
And then instead of this guy, Daniel Allah, saying the mark of the beast is a chip.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do a video on it, but the mark of the beast is a chip.
Yeah.
He said, why are you asking that? We just dealing with something else.
Yep.
We dealing with kids.
Oh, he was tap dancing.
No, he was a tap dance kid.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the thing and I said, let me make a video. I said, let me make a video on this thing, right? So he saw that video.
Yeah.
And then we kept asking the same thing. Look, brother, when you gonna make that video?
Yeah.
Oh, when I made videos and got cut down and
Yep.
lost all of
Yeah, yeah,
Pull up more videos, man.
Tap dancing, man.
Hey, the scripture said that your belly shall be rivers of living water.
Right.
His belly's a dust. Dust
Yeah.
is coming out of his belly.
They like the Jamaicans say.
We just telling you the truth, brother. And that's why we stopped getting on you, man. We said, this guy ain't gonna get it, man. All you had to do that same day, as soon as you saw the video, we go in there, nope, the mark of the beast is
That's it.
the chip.
That's it.
And then you're gonna say about the Cornelius thing, about the I've been teaching the Cornelius thing since. But what about 10 years ago? What you teaching?
Right.
Huh?
Tap
Most
dancing,
times
man.
The scriptures speak about being a quick understanding. Why it took you so long to get Cornelius?
Yeah, the scriptures say, he that have the Most High's words, let him speak the Most High's words faithfully.
That's it.
You know, why are you sitting there, talking about me, y'all saying this about me? The hell with that. Teach the scriptures. You know?
Well, you quoted it. Yahweh Shai said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. He'll be
the
a...
scripture said, let your yea be yea and your nay be nay.
That's
Yeah.
The brother said, it's a mark of the beast of the chip. Brother's asking the question, the mark is the mark of the beast of chip. Yes, the mark
Right.
of the beast is the microchip.
Right.
Yeah, and
You
then
know,
go
I'm
into
doing
it.
a video on it since he brought it up.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm dealing with this right now. But yes, the mark of the beast ain't the microchip.
Yeah, like
And then
earlier.
he did it in a video, rap video. He did it. There's a lyric. He's working in the job, and he says, "Don't take the chip in the right hand," or something like that. So you said it. So why not defend it?
Right.
Yeah, man.
Hey, HODC, you go on that page. They believe that the mark of the beast is a microchip, but do they really believe that? Because
Yeah.
there ain't no videos on it.
Right.
Yeah.
GOCC, you go to GOCC, you put the mark of the beast, the mark of the beast. They did a video on it like 2 years ago.
Yeah, the guys are not standing by their words.
Because they really don't believe that the
They
mark
don't
of the
believe.
beast is
Yeah.
Hey, when Noah was out there preaching for for all them years, he kept repeating the same thing over and over again until it actually happened. You know?
Yeah, I got a quick precept. 1 Corinthians 14 and 38. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. So that's a message to you guys that you want to go down to these different camps and basically make a fool out of yourself. Okay?
Yeah, because some young brothers down there in Atlanta, which they're not a part of GMS, but they follow GMS.
No, I had it. Right.
They went down to the Atlanta camp, IUIC, and the two young brothers asked you a simple question. There's a mark of the beast spiritual. And then this guy went into some damn rant, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cancer, man.
Yeah, the babies and babes
Yeah,
and
the
the...
babies.
What was he talking
What
about?
are they, let's say they are babies. They asked the question,
Right.
you know?
Like he was on such a high level, the guy that was speaking. You could tell he was just
No, he was running all over the damn
Yeah.
place, man.
he was a, how you say, he was a circumlocution, going around the point. Filibuster.
Yeah, because they know they would sound ridiculous if they actually said the mark of the beast is a Christianity and an embargo. That don't make no sense.
Yep.
The way we break it down, it makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah. Carl Sanders said it.
Oh yeah, he broke it down plain, man.
Oh yeah. He said, I was working when I read the video. He said, my God, what have we done? Tell me we didn't do what's written in Revelation. Yes, you did do it. The Lord put the Spirit on you to do it.
You did it.
You did. You controlled by the Lord. You wicked elite. You're the Lord's
Whipping stick.
whipping stick, his left hand.
Yeah.
And
Job
Just
said
like
it.
the Most High made you make the missiles.
Yeah.
That's it.
Give me
just
that.
thinking
Damn.
Isaiah
Woo!
I was
54:16.
I was thinking that was
Yeah. The reason why you made the missiles was to destroy yourself.
Right.
And what is this guy, this Edomite scientist made a statement? But he used
Oppenheimer.
Huh?
Oppenheimer.
What was the statement that he made?
Oh,
I am destroyer of worlds.
I am
Bhagavad-
destroyer of
the
Right,
Bhagavad
it was
Gita.
an old, right, what was it say?
The Bhagavad Gita.
Right, which is an old
Yeah.
Aryan Indian saying.
Khan.
It's
I
written
am
in the
become
book.
death, the destroyer of worlds. So
Was
he-
that
he
about
quotes
Kali?
that.
The god with
Yeah.
the multiple
blue,
arms?
The blue devil.
Yeah.
Kali.
Yeah.
The blue devil.
Devil
Go
in the
ahead.
blue dress.
Yeah, the devil with the
Devil with the, that was an old song, 60s. Yeah. Mitch,
devil with the
which
blue
he
dress,
looks
blue
like a
dress,
cracker.
blue dress.
He looks just like a so-called white man. I don't know.
Time will tell.
I don't know. Mitch Ryder, that's his name, Mitch Ryder.
Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire.
In the ancient world, if you're a warrior, you would go to a smith, the best smith you can find, and you would say, I want a sword. And they showed you that in that movie, Excalibur. Remember when King Arthur, he was trying to steal the sword?
Oh, yeah,
The guy
yeah.
had a sword,
Yeah.
and the dude looked all rough.
Yeah.
You know? Well, anyway, in the ancient world, you had somebody that made you your sword.
Right.
That's all he did, made you the sword, man. They folded it in the fire,
Right.
shaped it, made it sharp.
They're in a good living doing that, too.
Oh,
yeah.
a great living. Are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Them almost are living good.
Oh, yeah.
So now the modern day sword maker are the scientists.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Al.
Oh, they also made armor. They showed you that in
They made armor, they
Knight's
made all
Tale,
that.
the movie
They made-
Knight's
they
Tale.
made the-
Yeah.
They made the darts,
Yeah.
you know, the stars, all that stuff. The lances, they made all that.
Yeah,
man.
made all that, yeah.
Somebody put the science behind nukes came from a German scientist named Abraham Esau.
Abraham, did you say Esau?
Yeah, Esau.
Abraham Esau?
Yeah.
So Esau made the missile.
Yeah.
Oh, also this guy,
That's the
Vernon
spirit, man.
von
Vernon von Braun. Yeah?
von Braun. He was part of that.
Yeah, making this rocket ship. He was behind it.
By the way, he was the same guy that said if the so-called white man went to the moon, it would take a rocket ship the size of the Empire State Building. In other words, he was showing that they never went to the moon.
Yeah, wow.
He said the fuel pack alone would be as tall as the Empire State Building. Vernon von. So you devils never went to the moon. Give it up, man.
Goddamn liars, man.
You're damn liars, man.
The lies. Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.
The ways to destroy is what? The missiles.
God,
Point blank period. The missiles.
and it's to fulfill the Most High's words. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Because somebody asked on the comment board earlier if the three woes in Revelation represent the 3 world wars or something like that.
Yeah.
But we didn't get a chance to get to it. But yeah, that's exactly what it represents.
And Elder Apostle Tower used to always break that down years ago. You go to 1 war is past, and behold, 2 woes more hereafter. That was Revelation 8 and 13. Then there was the second one was Revelation 9 and 12. Then the third one was Revelation 11 and 14.
Yep.
Because I remember because of his classes. He used to go into that in his classes back in the day.
Can somebody give me Isaiah 5:28?
I got it.
This is in my list. I don't even
Them
know
classes
what
was
it's
bad too. The Wednesday night class.
Isaiah 5:28.
Yeah, the Wednesday night class, that was a bad class, man.
Yeah, that used to be Yaquad's class.
Yeah. Them classes was bad. I remember one class, there was a dude came in, he looked like a Jake, but he was an Edomite. And then Elder Apostle Tar stopped the class and said, hey, you, what's your father? And then the guy said that he's black. Then he said, what's your grandfather? The guy said he was white. He said, you don't belong here. And then like maybe 5 seconds later, the guy just gets up and walks out. Almost like an angel grab him by his neck and get out of here. You know? That was amazing, man. That's a true story, brothers. So the point is, we don't bring anybody in here. The spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Most High brings who he wants in here, man.
Put you out.
He takes you in and he puts you out. That's it.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 28. Whose arrows are sharp, and all their bows bent. Their horses' hoofs shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind.
Oh, that's talking about the missiles and the chariots, man.
Yep.
And the chariots are going to be shooting out laser beams.
Yeah.
They're going to use what's called a blitzkrieg.
Right.
Yeah,
Lightning
lightning warfare.
warfare.
Verse 29. Their roar. It's like it. That wasn't a roar. That wasn't a roar.
You got to speak from the dialect, brother.
Yeah, that wasn't
It's
a roar.
like it, brother.
I
What's kind of
even
funny,
like
man? You hit that flat
It's
note.
like it, it's like
Like
it.
a singer hits a flat note. You like, look at him like, what?
Oh, man. It says, their roaring shall be like a lion. They shall roar like young lions. Yea, they shall roar and lay hold of the prey and shall carry it away safe, and none shall deliver it.
That's what's being delivered. And now when you go from there right quick to Revelation 9 and 14.
Somebody asked, Shalom, brothers, will you return to 34th Street?
Who said that?
KTS 28. I can't read.
He's asked
20.
us when are we going to return to
Yeah.
34th?
Shalom, brothers, will you?
That's a page in history.
Huh?
That's a page in
Let
history.
me read the exact.
Oh no, we ain't going back
Nah,
to 34th
nah,
Street.
that's Elf City.
The elves got that.
The elves got
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Shalom, when will you brothers return to
We're
34th
not
Street?
going to return back.
What's the?
Don't worry about what we. Hey, we here.
We in the
We on the
wilderness.
street,
I should
man.
not be here, but I am here.
Yeah, a street is a street is a street.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Just learn, brother. Just learn.
what is he so obsessed about 34th Street for?
The Most High took us off 34th Street, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
We ain't got no business being on 34th Street.
Yeah.
Got to follow the spirit,
Yeah.
man.
You don't know what's going to go down there.
That's right.
Might
you
have
said-
that
you said
bull come to
Revelation
life
9?
down in, might have that bull come to
Yeah,
life
that's
down
in
in
Wall
Wall
Street.
Street.
Yeah. Start jabbing some crackers at.
GMS Ironclad Truth put 34th Street was an end of an era.
Thank you, brother.
Well said.
That's a
Thank you,
brother
brother.
Aratazar down in Atlanta.
Okay.
He reminds me of Tazaya one.
Well said, brother. Well said.
Well said.
Yeah, kind
This is Revelation chapter 9. You want me to start the 15th verse?
Somebody said brush the dust off.
Yeah, bro, that's it. Revelation 9.
And 12.
Yeah, start at 12.
Okay. One woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before the Most High.
UK is on the check-in. Said Shalom, brothers.
Shalom.
Shalom to the UK.
Verse 14, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men.
I was talking about Edomite. White people. Go ahead.
And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000.
Now you got certain group of ISUPK. They say it's talking. What they say it's talking about? It's talking about the angels. Ain't talking about the angels. It's talking about the missiles.
Right.
The Most High's army consists of angels, men, and missiles, man.
That's right.
You want Joel?
Well, thank you, brother. I was going to say go to
Oh man, I got Joel too.
Joel.
Got it?
Joel,
I got it.
Go ahead.
You
Go
get it,
ahead.
man.
I've been holding.
No one else can.
Gotta be quick around here.
Joel 2 and 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and
What
of
verse you in?
verse 2 now.
Go ahead.
A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountain.
And that's when America is destroyed, utterly destroyed. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
A great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Right, now that great people in the storm are not really people. Those are missiles.
Missiles, yeah.
But they're going to be in array like soldiers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because Esau has something called guided missile technology.
Right, exactly. That's their what do you call that? Their miracles. The
Yeah.
miracles is their technology.
Yeah.
Can I read a precept real quick?
Yeah, but I want you to keep reading at it, Joel 2.
Con.
Well, read your precept and bring it right back to Joel 2.
Con. This is Job 20 and 24. He shall flee from the iron weapon,
Missiles,
and the bow of steel shall strike him through.
missiles,
It is drawn and cometh out of the body.
missile silos.
Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall.
It's going to look like a sword flying in the air.
Yeah.
Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle.
And that's Esau. His tabernacle is this kingdom of his.
America.
Yeah.
And his whole kingdom.
Yeah, his kingdom, yeah. So-called New World Order. His enterprise that he thinks will be crowned with success.
The thing that's going to be totally destroyed is America.
Yep.
You know?
And this devil do have an enterprise because it's on the back of the dollar bill. I knew it. Coeptes, Novos
Our
Order.
enterprise is crowned with success.
There you go. There you go.
Novus Ordo Seclorum.
So that's his enterprise. New World Order. Come on, Esau, you're done. You're finished. The gig is up, man. The Lord have revealed you. Expose you. You're being exposed, devil. You got it.
Just give it up. Back in Joel 2 and 3. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness.
Yeah, that's what America is going to look after the missiles hit ground zero.
The forbidden zone.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
Well, ain't nobody going to be on it for being done.
Right.
So Charlton Heston ain't going to pop out from
Beating
behind
the
a
beach.
fucking rock
Yeah.
on a horse with Nova.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Nova. Yeah.
Which
riding
is
on the
new.
horse.
Yeah.
Beating on the beach.
Yeah.
You did it!
Did it.
On a horse with no name.
Damn you!
A horse with no name.
And the reason why
That's a good one. That's a
The
good one.
reason why she was named Nova
Yep.
was
Yeah.
representing New. the
New,
World
yeah.
Order.
Right.
New World
You know,
Order,
they
yeah.
threw that in there, devil.
Come on, devil. We're hip to the game. 2 Corinthians. We're not ignorant of your devices, man.
It says, yea, and nothing shall escape them.
Wait a minute. Have not the Lord said I will make Esau bare?
Yeah.
So he's made you bare. He's making you bare. Everybody's seeing you.
Yep. It says, and nothing shall escape them.
It is.
Meaning the
Because
missiles.
when they get that, this is not a test. The Russians that shot their missiles and all that. The Great Britain that shot their missiles, run like hell. Where you gonna run to?
Where you gonna run
What you
to?
gonna do? Jump in an Uber? So the Uber gonna pick you up?
Lift.
Lift? You ain't gonna make it down. Man, I go down to LaGuardia. Shit, last week I went to JFK, then turned around, dropped 2 people off, and turned back around. I went to LaGuardia and dropped somebody off, man.
Damn, that's good.
I'm always going down to LaGuardia and JFK, man.
Yeah,
right.
You know how long it takes you to get from here or anywhere in the city? To go down to LaGuardia?
Oh, forget about it.
You gonna hit that traffic, man?
Yep.
Oh, man.
That traffic, man.
Shall
It's
the
going to be
trumpet
crazy. It's going to
You
be
hit
crazy.
that Van Wick,
Yep.
you gonna be driving, all of a sudden
Be
you hit
done
that
quick.
Van Wick and then
Yeah.
boom,
Yep.
it's traffic.
Yep.
Yeah.
That rush.
But then you chill for about 5 minutes and it opens back up.
Yeah.
You know?
Shall the trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid?
Yeah.
Shall they be evil in the city? The Lord has not done it.
Can't.
And these devils, they got.
There's no escape.
That's it.
There's no place to run to.
No place
you
to run.
You motherfuckers don't even have fallout shelters. We had it back in the 50s.
50s,
man.
yeah.
You ain't got no fallout shelters, man.
They like that song, nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide.
It says, and nothing shall escape them.
Nothing shall escape them.
Verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen, so shall they run. That's the same thing as Revelation 9, when it describes the missiles. It says, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble. There goes your a lake of fire.
Now,
As a-
if I may say, if Russia deploys the nukes, it's going to take less than half an hour to get over here.
Yeah. ICBM.
ICBMs. Less than half an hour. Where you going to go? Like Apostle Elder said earlier, where you going to run to?
Right.
You ain't going to have enough. You're done. You're toast.
Yeah. Because your first thing is what's that called when people are so scared they can't move? It's like
Shock.
Petrified with fear?
yeah,
Trauma?
like- yeah, there's a term for it, but it's like they petrified,
Yeah.
they can't move.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take you a few just to get in gear to do to do something about it.
On what plan of action they're going to, what,
Exactly.
half an hour?
Right.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that's another one. It says, as a strong people set in battle array.
And they ain't talking about actual people, they're talking about missiles. Because when the missiles come, they're going to come in formation.
Yeah.
Who's talking now?
No, brother said, GMS Missouri, 30 minutes or less, or the next one's free.
That's a good one.
Hey, it's going to be a hell of a thing, man, because they're going to see the missiles coming, and while the missiles come in, the ships are going to come,
Oh, yeah.
and then they're going to see certain people getting beamed up, and they're going
Right.
to see that they're not getting beamed up,
Yeah.
Right.
and then they're going to look over here, and then they're going to see the missiles over there, then they're going to go to run,
Yeah.
and then they're going to get smashed, man,
Yeah.
That's it.
by that fire.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it says men's hearts failing them for looking at the things that are coming.
Coming on,
On the
a lot
earth.
of
Stop
them
it,
are going to be
Ronald.
dead before the missiles hit.
Yep.
They're going to see the missiles and go, oh my goodness.
Yep.
Damn,
Elizabeth.
Oh,
Elizabeth.
I'm coming to join
Coming to join you.
Yeah.
With fire on
With
my
a
ass.
fire up my, I was gonna, with fire up my ass.
Hey, you got to have fun with
And then
this,
you
man.
know what? You know why a lot of guys fall off? It tells you this in Hebrews 4:2. Not mixed with faith.
They don't
lack
believe.
faith. They lose the faith.
Yeah.
Or they pretended they got the faith.
Right.
Because there's a lot of Israel. The guys the ones you guys that fell off and went back in the world. When we went through the scriptures on the UFOs coming and the missiles taking America out, you don't believe that shit's going on. That's
No.
why you went back in the world.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's why you didn't leave America.
They can't
But if
see
you
it.
left with the truth in your heart,
Yeah.
and you know you fell off because you were weak, you would leave America.
right.
Yeah.
You niggas ain't leaving America.
Yeah.
You're gonna be right here to eat them missiles, man.
They
I got
don't
a precept,
believe.
Apostle.
Another thing, too, Apostle, they can't see it. You got to
They
be,
can't see it.
we
They
can
can't-
see it
Right.
in our
We
mind's
can
eye.
definitely see it.
We can see
We
it.
know, that's why we speak on it so much, man.
Yeah,
We
'cause we
sound
can
like
see it.
broken records.
Yeah,
Speaking on the mark of the beast, being a microchip, because we can clearly see it.
we can see
We
it.
see that the so-called UFOs are coming to deliver us. We see that the white man, the guys that fall off, they no longer believe that
They
the
can't
white
see
man
it.
is Esau.
Yeah.
No, he's just a white man.
Right.
You know? And there's one guy, Miguel TV, and that clown, Comfy messed his mind up so much that when he left, he's an atheist now. He don't even believe in the Most High.
got a precept, Apostle.
Right?
Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils.
So you gotta believe. You gotta believe, man.
For you to
Just
believe,
like
you have
Foley.
to. Yeah.
You gotta believe, Foley.
Yeah. For you to believe, you have to see it. You have to see it in your mind's eye. You can see it. If you can see
And the
it,
Most High has to open your eye anyway. The
Yeah.
Most High has to make you a believer.
yeah. If you can see it, you can achieve it. Seeing is believing. There's also spiritual vision, man. Spiritual vision. You got it.
It
Well,
says,
that's why a lot of these guys, like now you got all them unity camps. When you gonna see the unity camps come back?
Oh, when
In
it's
the
warm.
springtime.
When it's warm, yeah.
When it's warm. You ain't seen ain't no videos of no unity camps. And that old unity camp shit is all bullshit, man. Because you got 3 or 4 different camps, and they all got different belief systems.
Yeah.
You know?
Even Merlin asked that chick, what's her name? Do you have the sight?
Morgana.
Yeah, Morgana. Do you have the sight? Hey, because sight
What is
spiritual
the stone that
burns, yeah. Then she said, yes, I can see.
I can see a kingdom. Oh, that's well known.
Yeah, you have to have the sight, man. A lot of you guys ain't got the sight.
And you know when they made that movie with this guy, Michael Jai White, where he was like that monster,
Oh, Spawn?
Spawn. And
Yeah.
you know that Merlin was an actual Merlin.
Oh, yeah, from they brought him back.
But they brought him back.
He was born to play that role.
Yeah.
That's
His
true.
hand
Yeah.
turned into a sword.
Con.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And he was Merlin. He was
Yeah.
Merlin, you know.
Yeah,
So let's get the real Merlin.
yeah. No, he's got the English accent.
And you shall have it.
I give you the sword not to hack, but to heal. Hey, he played the hell out of that role, man.
Yeah, so I did.
Even High Priest Ariel, like he said, you can't make you can't make a movie without Merlin, Tar. You can't. Hey, High Priest Ariel, he was cool as hell when he back in his right
Yeah,
mind.
because we came back from seeing the last night with Sean Connery and
Yeah.
Richard Gere.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah,
When
yeah,
we
con.
asked Ariel to see the movie. He says, how you gonna make a movie without Merlin?
Yeah. He was cool as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he gonna get back cool, man.
I remember we was on 86th Street and he came up behind
Oh yeah,
me.
he hugged you. Yeah, you were trying to hit him. Yeah.
See, we were like friends.
Right.
Yeah.
We were like friends, man.
Yeah.
He let you go too because you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got him.
How you know who he was? And shit. Hey, you know?
Hey, well, we were looking.
And that man's a man of the Lord.
Oh,
He's wearing them folks on.
oh man.
And when he used to speak down in Manhattan, it's almost like the buildings would shake.
Well, yeah.
He would roar like a lion.
Yeah.
People on both sides, they'll stop and they.
Yeah. Hey man, like you felt that power, you felt that energy, you know?
Spoke with authority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Well, that's your Howard Shy's friend. That's John. That's the one who laid in his bosom. For those of you that have ears
You guys
there,
believe that? You other
they don't
people
believe that.
West
They
Side?
don't believe
Do
that.
you believe that already?
They don't believe that.
John the Revelator?
It's the man that laid in his bosom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you believe that King Marshall is Peter? Do you believe that?
And there's no doubt in my mind that back in the past, Howard Shy and High Priest Ariel was tight as hell, man. That's John, man.
Yeah.
You got like High Priest. Well, that's the spirit. High Priest Elder Tar. That was your title back then. Yeah.
Everybody want to be a high. Oh, then it's
No, well,
tough to be
you
a
wore that title well.
general.
Yeah. Or what was the point I was gonna make? Damn. Yeah, a lot of you guys, like you said, a lot of you guys don't believe that, man.
And a lot of these
You
guys
don't believe
are playing
that, man.
the game.
You're playing
They
games,
they
man.
see us do it, then they get their girlfriend and make them a comment, and they go
Yeah.
out there. And then the scriptures that they hit is our scriptures, but then they'll say, well, I don't agree with it, so change this up. A lot of you guys are just clowns, man. And the Most High didn't set you guys up.
Yeah.
No, he
Then you'll
didn't.
see him using the same terminologies, the same mannerisms, you know.
What you gonna do?
Playing
It
games,
was
man.
Well,
mockers.
now we know who Peter and John is, right?
Yeah.
As if Peter and John would never come back. They're just laying in the grave somewhere, destined.
Hey, well, wait a minute.
Come on,
Did not the Yahweh or the angel told John that he shall prophesy again before many
Yep.
kings and princes and all
There you
that?
go.
Well, he's here, the light skinned guy. In Baltimore.
Oh yeah, him.
That's
That's
John.
right, him. Oh yeah.
Goodness.
Oh shit, him. Yeah, he's John.
All right.
Like we said, man, you guys are a bunch of clowns, man.
Second Ezra 9 verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed.
And the guy Dizzy Duncan, he put Elder Apostle Tahar the night.
What do you say?
He put Elder Apostle Tahar the night, like night, you know,
Yeah,
night,
yeah,
the night, the night, night, knight in shining armor.
I'm just a humble servant. And like Lahab said, I'm just a humble servant of the house of God.
That's the way to be, humble.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's where the power is, humility. Huh?
Mark say something about he looking in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, the word mark.
The word what?
The word mark.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it.
Who's saying that? Friend or foe?
Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, that brother be making good comments.
He put it up a little while back, but we couldn't get to it. You may notice already, I was looking at the word mark in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary the other day, and the last thing written says the mark of the beast is physical. Yeah, well, all kind of information is coming out, man. It's coming out. Yahushua said it best. There's nothing hidden that shall not be made manifest. So it's the truth. If it's the truth, it's got to come out, brother. It's got to come out.
And we're defenders of the truth.
We're defenders of the truth. Now the thing is, Esau's going to make that mark mandatory. How many guys are gonna bug out on that when Esau makes that mark mandatory?
Well, that's the reason.
733.
Okay.
That's
I
the
will
time
be
of Jacob's
here
trouble.
A little bit. I'll be here for another 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Did you just say, brother?
the time of Jacob's trouble. They're going to make that mark mandatory, and then you were going to come.
That's that test.
The time,
in,
yeah,
Revelation 3, verse
3 and 10.
12. Yep.
I'll read it.
Yep.
And we believe
But
this.
The hour of temptation. That's when that test is going to come.
Yeah.
There's going to be a time where it's actually they're going to actually bring it out and say everybody got to get their chip,
Yep.
and that's going to be the test. Are you going to take it or are you not going to take it?
Hey, well, Yahweh's hour of temptation was the cross.
Cross. Yeah.
You know, when they put him on the
Our
cross.
hour of temptation is the chip.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of guys are going to bug out when they actually put up them shipping stations and all that stuff.
Yep.
Hey, just like these tolls, they slowly switch everything over, man.
Yeah.
You know.
And Esau has something called gradualism. That's how he operates.
I think that might be the cross.
Good reading, Celeste.
Oh, you
Hey.
smell something?
It sounds a little
Real good. Let's go.
Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try
And that
them.
word world, when you look it up, the
Yeah.
word world right there is oikoumene.
Check that out.
When you look up the word oikoumene, it's talking about the inhabited earth.
The whole world, yeah. Which is the chip, because they're going to make it mandatory
Mandatory to the
because
whole
of all, both small and great, rich and yeah. I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. That ain't happened yet.
Try them that dwell upon the earth. If you don't know Greek, and you don't know that the word world means oikoumene, it tells you the whole earth.
Yeah.
Read it again, huh?
And when did it happen? That's what I want to know. Revelation 3 and 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
Dwell upon the earth. So the people that don't know, like the people out there in Sweden, them are mostly Edomites, man. Oh, I did a video, short video, CBS Morning or whatever, with Gail King and Charlie Ross, and then the Edomite chick in the middle. And they did a thing on the mark of the beast, the microchip. And Gail King had a problem with it. She said, I don't know, I can't see myself getting the chip. Then the Edomite chick said, no, I can see myself getting the chip. And then Charlie Ross, his old ass, because I met that devil, he said, no, I'll take the chip. So that's all in the spirit, man.
Yeah.
The spirit itself bears witness and we are the children of the Most High, man. So Gail King, as wicked as she is, she still got the spirit of Israel up in her, man.
Yeah.
Check that out. Yeah, that was it on that. I don't know. Yeah,
Hey, you got a Zondervan Bible dictionary?
You know
I
what?
got it. I got it. If you don't have it, I got it.
No,
You
yeah.
don't
I
have
got
it?
something else. Oh, you know?
I used to have it.
Nah, this is a strong.
I used to
What's
have it.
wrong with you, brother?
Yeah, I know. I gotta
You
have
should
it.
go to
Yeah.
the real
Bag is kinda
kid.
small.
Cut.
Yeah, come. I used to have it.
I mean, mine broke up. Having it in the rain and all that shit.
Yeah, what I want to know is that time of temptation. When is that gonna happen?
Hey, but hey, read this thing in years, brother. Oh,
Yeah.
you know.
For those
Let's
of,
see if you can find it in there. I think if you look up Mark,
Yeah.
for those of you that deny it, when is that gonna happen? Revelation 3 and 10, or has it happened already?
yeah, because they say it's Christianity. You wasn't tested with Christianity. Look, accept Christianity, or else. No, your parents, your mama brought you to that damn church, man.
That's it.
And I call them churches insane asylums. And none of you brothers
Yeah.
should be going to them churches because you're going into an insane asylum. Them motherfuckers are insane, man.
Yeah.
Does it say anything?
Yeah, I'm going. It says a whole bunch of stuff dealing with the
Well,
mark.
it said towards the end,
Yeah.
He said towards the end.
Last sentence or whatever.
Let's see. Mark. Let's see. It's locking.
If you go to the blue letter and you look up the word Mark in Revelation, it'll tell you that they're pledging allegiance to the devil.
Right. I mean, I didn't get a chance to finish watching it, but there's this Jake woman that did she did a thing, said something like 26 stakes, something about you have to take an oath to the mark of the beast or something like that. But I haven't really fully watched it, so couldn't really speak on it. No, let me see. Yeah, here's the end of it.
That's right. Yeah, it's locking.
He said it was.
Mark.
No, that's Mark. That's Mark.
What did it say?
Mark,
The Mark?
marriage. Mark.
See, it says a word of verse means
Yeah, they just have Mark, Gospel, Mark.
maybe this is a particular brand important the nature or rank of men. A particular brand.
Now he said it said it is physical.
Yeah, we're in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary looking up the word Mark.
Still got the book too.
Yeah, make sure you give it.
Oh yeah, I give it back. Matter of fact, give it to you.
I don't see.
Yeah,
Oh, what about this Mark here?
That's Mary.
Married, okay, no, I don't really see it.
Yeah, we don't really. It's a whole bunch of definitions in there of dealing with
But
the
anyway,
word mark.
you know what? We're gonna close on this one. Go to the blue letter. Go to the blue letter, anybody, and then click on the what? Click on the word Mark.
Revelation.
Because even the people on the blue letter, they know the mark of the beast is the chip.
Mark. G5480. Charagma. From the same as G5482, a scratch or etching that is stamped as a badge of servitude or sculptured figure, statue, graven image. So it says a scratch or etching that is stamped as a badge of servitude.
But it said that it's badge of servitude to the Antichrist. I don't know, it doesn't come up.
Yeah. If somebody could go on the phone, because this is the off.
It doesn't give you the full.
Right. This is like an offline one.
Yeah, you know where to go, right? Revelation 13, verse 16, and then click on the blue letter and go to the word Mark.
tools.
This one, 87.
Yes, 83.
Pretty sure it was.
Got it?
I'm looking.
13 verse 16 in Mark, right? Yeah, Mark. Just tell you the word karagma.
Right, I got it here. It says karagma.
Look up the definition. Servitude to the Antichrist, something like that.
This it doesn't have where you go to the dictionary
Right
right here.
here.
You see it?
Yeah,
It says a stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The
So
mark.
they know.
Right.
They know. But they go off on the Antichrist.
Right,
There's no
right.
such man as the Antichrist.
Right.
That's another thing you wacky Christians go off on.
There's
The
many.
Antichrist. There ain't no one Antichrist.
Right.
There's many antichrists.
There's many Antichrists.
Right.
Or anti-Messiah.
Right.
Anti-Messiah. Yeah.
All right?
Right. Yeah, that was it.
Anyway, with that, we're going to say Shalom.
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 We out of
Until
here.
next week.